Simona. Hi Anne. Thank you so much for accepting this invitation, a special video for the International Women's Day. And the topic of today will be how it is to be a leader, as a woman and a leader in big companies, in small companies, how it is to be an entrepreneur, how it is to be a mother and have the own business in the same time. Tell us about you, academic background, how you started your career, professional career, and where are you today?
First of all, thank you, Violetta, for inviting me. I'm very happy that I can share some of my experience and what brought me where I am today. So I started my studies at the University of Oslo, where I did my master in biochemistry, and this was really somewhat of a struggle at the end when I was trying to write up my thesis, and I was so close to finishing, but there was a drive. I need to finish, I need to get my education, because I think education is really what gives options, regardless of whether you are a woman or a man, when you want to be independent, when you financially but also have freedom. I think education, that is the key. So I finished my education at the University of Oslo, then I moved to Switzerland. I moved to Basel, where I am still today. I joined the Biomedical Research Institute called the Friedrich Miescher Institute, where I was working as an intern through the student exchange program called EAS. So there I was working in the proteomics and the protein analysis field, and after 4 years at this institute I moved then to Novartis, and I joined in clinical development and took on clinical trial leader positions. So I started with a very small key opinion leader study as the clinical trial leader, or CTL, and then later I was working on the registration trials for a type 2 diabetes drug, registration study for Europe, and then later a registration study for China. So that was a fantastic move for me, who already then knew that I didn't want to have an academic career, because when I was at FMI it was really natural that I would do a PhD. But for me that was, no, I am not going to do that. What I wanted to do, I wanted to complement my science background and understand what is going on beyond science and what are other drivers. And for me it was then a decision to leave Novartis, and I moved to Sydney to do an MBA. So I packed up my bags, I resigned from Novartis and corporate life to do an MBA. So that was a very big step for me. So I moved to Australia, full-time studies. Now I came back to Switzerland after 1 year to do my to finish off my MBA. I finished off with an exchange at Gallen, and then because I found love in Switzerland just before I was going to Australia. That is typical, right? So I followed my heart. I came back to Switzerland, finished, and then this was in 2009 when I was coming back, and you know, we had the financial crisis. It was not a good time to find a new job or find another company. So I found myself knocking on the door of Novartis again. I moved then into project management, I was working for the vaccines division in the contract position. I moved to another contract position in molecular diagnostics. So I moved from developing therapeutics to then development of diagnostics. So I then looked at molecular diagnostics, companion diagnostics, but also diagnostics for point of care. Okay. And I moved to project management, where I was leading scientific projects, but also more business projects. So it's really a broad portfolio of different types of projects. And then I got the role as the head of business operations for a small unit called the near patient testing unit, where we acquired a small pre-commercial company that had a point of care diagnostic platform that we wanted them to develop and commercialize. So that was in 2017 that there was a decision to not continue this diagnostic business within Novartis. And I was at the junction of what I am going to do next. So at that time there was a lot of talk about digital transformation. You saw the digital transformation in many different industry sectors, and I wanted to understand what does digital transformation and has for healthcare. So I took quite a few courses at the IMD Business School, and then I was lucky to do some projects at Novartis for digital. But then I also felt that when it comes to the digital and data, there's a lot of, there are a lot of challenges, and it will take a long time before those challenges will be solved. And then came along the opportunity for this CEO position of Arctic Pharma, where I am today, and the position that I got 2 years ago. And also in 2021, I was, as this is, we want to talk about entrepreneurship. It's also when I was considering, do I want to start my own business or not? And I think I started that entrepreneurship journey. But it's going to take a little bit of time, because at the same time when we were having all these changes at Novartis, I was going through some personal changes where we were where I was separating from my husband, and at that time we also had a son who was 6 years old and 6-7, and as the person with the financial responsibility, it's very hard to take that decision to start your own business. So I am sure at one point there will be my own business, but it's just not yet.
Yeah, it's important to have the right time, the right moment.
Exactly.
In life doing it.
And it's really about looking. I think entrepreneurship is a lot about understanding the risks, but also to understand the risk, you need to understand your personal situation. I think the personal finances is something that is so important, and that is what for me is important to, as a message for women, really look after your finances. Because when you have an understanding of your finances, you have a lot more freedom. even as boring or annoying as it is, it's much easier to maybe hand it over. I really encourage every woman to look at their own finances.
Thank you so much, Anne. We'll come back and deep diving more on the entrepreneurial the decision that you took it. Before, Simona, what can you tell about yourself?
So thank you, Violetta, for the invitation. It's really great. So for me, I started with automatic control and computer science diploma, which was obtained in Polytechnica University in Bucharest, so in Romania. And afterwards, at the end of the university, I was thinking, well, what's next? So I think everybody comes at the end of the university and say, what's next? So I really wanted to do research. So I was really motivated to do research, and there was not lots of possibilities in Romania. Yeah. So that's why we decided to come to France. And I continue with the master degree and a PhD thesis in France. So for the PhD thesis, I worked on an experimental modeling of the photodynamic therapy, which is a treatment for cancer. So it was done at the University of Lorraine University in Nancy. So the idea that working with experimental data was really great, because it was not simulation, it was not numbers that were generated, it was real data, it was real. I had the opportunity to participate to experiments, so it was really great. So that was the beginning of my journey, because I will say, yes, that's for sure. I don't want to do simulation, that's not for me. So I really want to do experimental work. So after the PhD thesis, I continue to work in a defense and aerospace domain. So it's really, that's also the beauty of research in data analysis, because you can work on everything. If you want to work on, I don't know, how brain works, it can work because it's data. We can work on that. So that's the beauty of working with data. You can work on each domain that you want. So it was really nice for me to be able to change domain, because I'm always curious about how things work. So it's really nice to deep dive inside and see how the things work. But in 2018, I was thinking, well, it's really nice defense and aerospace. I adore it. It's really great to see how we can arrive to other planets, and it's really great. But I had a talk with myself, and deep down I know that I wanted to work in health. So in health domain, and I really find that the human body is the most unknown universe, and there are lots of unknowns, and it's really puzzles me, and I really wanted to close this defense and aerospace domain. It was great, but it was really important for me to work in health.
Yeah, okay.
So that's why in 2020 I started my own company, which is called, in France it's DevAIs.
DevAIs, yeah.
If we split it, it's
like
development
artificial intelligence. Yeah, when I saw it, right away I was thinking that this is.
But it has also another signification, because in France means dever, meaning should have, meaning that we have the responsibility. We have the responsibility of our generation, of the future generation, of the planet, meaning that all we construct needs to have a thinking behind, saying, oh, climate change, war, there are lots of challenges which are currently in place, we need to do something about this.
Thank you. I love actually how you reflect on your brand, and I do have one of my best friends in Romania actually with his twin brother. They developed their own business since many years, and exactly they are specialized, they experts on branding. And when I was building the brand for my own business, he was telling me what really means that name for you. It really needs to be something deeper that comes from you. So thank you for actually explaining us the story of our brand, because for me that's why it was right away actually development artificial intelligence, but I did not went so deeper, and I really love this story. And Simona, I just realized now, it's funny because we know each other since many years, and I'm just discovering something new to you. So I knew that you were studying computational data science, but I did not knew that it was on Polytechnic of Bucharest. And it's funny because we could be colleagues actually in the time that you were doing it. And I remember that when I was prepared in the high school on mathematics, informatics to go to Polytechnic, I wanted to go for medical devices. And actually it was the only section where you could still see some females, because otherwise Polytechnic, and my friends, they were telling me, what are you going there? It's like 98% men's, you know?
Totally.
And medical devices, it was a new section, and it was the only one where at least I could have like 10% female. And it was really the brand, or you know, saying, oh, Polytechnic Bucharest, you can enter, but it's very difficult to get out, because it's really one of the most famous school polytechnic in Romania. So already congratulations for this. It's really it's a new info for me. So. And actually tell me, even because also when you were saying defense and aerospace, it's very, you went through the very man's world, even from the academic studies, polytechnic, but also for me, when I hear defense and aerospace, I'm thinking, you know, like career for men. How it was for you, even being a student within 98% probably colleagues males, and also the type of activity, career, professional career you had it to be surrounded only by men.
For me, there was not a problem being a woman or a man, so it was really the same. So for me it was normal. I don't know, I think my dad really wanted a boy when
okay. So you were slightly influenced by your dad to go
no, the choice of engineering was really my choice. I really loved that. I love mathematics. I was really fan of mathematics and physics in school, so this was really the choice that I needed to have.
Wow.
It's it's really a very great drive. Going now through entrepreneurial experience, and tell us how it was for you actually, really, after you left Novartis. What drove you? What it was really deeper in you in saying, I don't want anymore to be in Novartis or into another multinational?
So I think it was really about having more impact and accountability and responsibility. It's, you know, even or when you are in the big corporate, you are a small cog in a large machinery, and of course being on your own, whether that is your own company or a small company like Arctic Pharma, at least you see immediately the impact of what you do today. Or I would see, if I have done something, I will see the immediate impact. And it allows me to, you know, look at the strategy, but also execution of the strategy. It's not, you know, in the big corporate you have the strategists who are developing the strategies, the leadership team on top have the corporate strategy, and then the rest are the executors. When you're working as for smaller companies, you have to do it all. You have to develop the strategy, but you also have to execute it. And you in a small company, it's much easier to, and as the privilege of being a CEO, you set the culture of and the cultural stamp on the company. And for me, that is important. That is really how you treat people, and that is not, regardless of whether that is the board, whether it is the employees, whether there are service providers, whomever you are in contact with, it's really about respect for everyone. And that is something that I probably was missing in the larger corporate. It was, thinking for yourself or thinking for the department. It was about building their own small kingdoms, a lot of ego, and which is not my style. That said, you can be lucky and come into a big corporate, depending on who is the leader of a department, how they are setting the culture of a unit or a department. That is crucial. So it doesn't necessarily mean that the culture in one area of the business is the same as in another one. It's also very much dependent on in which area you are. Are you in early discovery or are you in technical operations? It's very different how much or what are the key success factors that will also determine what the culture is.
Thank you for this story, and actually it's I heard something also similar from other entrepreneurs with whom I spoke with, and they left actually big companies, and I just took some notes because I have so many curiosities and questions. Probably we'll have to keep it for other video sessions. Simona, tell us from your side, what was really your biggest drive in really renouncing to this like I can say like sexy word of aerospatial, and really build your own business?
Yes, so it's at a certain amount of time. It was the beginning of my contract also. We need to be fair with ourselves. So it was also the end of the contract, but it was not coherent with my values. So aerospace was great, but defense was a problem for me.
Okay.
So that's why I took the time to think about it, and definitely going to health was my objective, the next objective. And creating my own business while having a family and managing office time is not always obvious, at least when they are little, and they are quite often sick. So this was really the way that I could manage the professional life, because I really like being working. For me, it's very important to be a scientist, but I really wanted also to be part of the kids' life.
Yeah.
Not only to be a paper on the wall.
Was this decision also linked right after the first COVID lockdown, when many people started actually to get used also working from home?
No, I think we were thinking about it. I
so
was
it was
thinking
planned.
about since at least 5 years.
Okay. And also because you just mentioned it, how you combine the family life, the professional life. 8th of March is not only the International Women's Day, but in some countries also we are celebrating the Mother's Day. So tell me, Simona, for you, how it is for you to be mother. Tell us how many kids you have, and really how you combine entrepreneurship life with being.
Yeah, so it's really surprising for a scientist to have 5 kids. So most of the people are very surprised, and they are wondering why or how.
Well, how it's easy.
So for me, it was important to be a mother also. So that was not the question, and it was important to balance, and in balance meaning having quality time in a personal life, but also having quality time in a professional life. So the question was how to find the balance, and it was not easy. I'm not sure that I completely find it, found it. But it's really important to be present when you work and when you are with the family. And having a family, I assure you that I learned more than in development courses or so I learned how to manage conflicts. I mean, I learned how to prioritize, because you are very quick overwhelmed with all the things that you need to do, and it's very important to say, well, I have like this, I can do only 10, what's the most important?
Yeah.
What's the most important for me, but what's the most important also for the others? So there are really lots of personal development skills that I got with the kids.
Okay, and how you are prioritizing, because it's not easy with 5. I see for me that it's not easy with 1.
Yes. So it's not always obvious when you have lots of tasks to do. If you always think what I have to do this week, today, this week, it's not always easy to see what's really important for you. So for me it was important to think, okay, what are my objectives on short term, middle term and long term. And when I had these ideas cleared, it was more easy to find what are the priority
Okay,
for
so
the
you do have your list, short, mid, long term. Good, very good tips and tricks. Thank you. And what about you? Tell us how it is to be a mother, entrepreneur, leader, CEO of Arctic Pharma.
So for me, it's clear that being a parent, being a mother, that is the most important responsibility that I have. That goes beyond everything else, whether that is my career. Of course, now it needs to be said that being a parent, you also need to offer stability financially, but also be there present emotionally. And that is one of the things why I was also questioned with all the work that is or the demand on your time from a big corporate is taking on you, where you're on the phone and you're checking your emails constantly and it's just ping pong back and forth. How present are you with your child? And I have only one child. He's now meanwhile 11. But I'm so grateful that the last 3-4 years I had a lot more flexibility to be there for him, particularly also since I was going through separation and the divorce. So I think that being a mother and with the responsibility, I like to say it as, if I can't influence and bring my values to my son, how can I transfer those values to any other people? It's not that my values are the most important, but he is at least the one that I want to transfer them to, because I believe that I stand for something good and I want to bring that message across to him. And being a Norwegian, gender equality is an important topic for me, and he should see that women are standing up for themselves as much as men are, that we are equal parts, and that is very important. Now, he is doing very well. And that is really also now giving me groundedness, happiness, and inspiration to look for new challenges as well.
Okay. I thank you so much, Anna, and I took some notes. I heard from both of you several times actually value, and why I was smiling is because actually I'm working this year. I did set up every year. I'm trying really in January to say what it will be my big objective for the year. And by the end of the year, I'm preparing a surprise. I cannot disclaim now too much, but it's very linked with a value, and it is a key topic for me. And I'm sure that we will meet once again this year to discuss about this topic, because I heard it several times from you, and I see really that it's so deep in you and it's so important for you. So thank you so much for highlighting this, and thank you for your story. You know, being a mother, being entrepreneur, and if I can share a personal experience related to this topic, it's when I had 33 years old, a senior leader left from the company. He left at retirement, and actually the advice that he was giving to me, he said, you know, Violeta, you are not made to have a boss, you are made to drive, and you need to set up your own business before having a kid, because then otherwise, if you have a kid, it's lost. You cannot anymore manage. And I had this in mind. Well, when I had my son, I had already 36 years old, and when I gave birth, I think it was on the same day in the evening. Meanwhile, I was super tired. I said, oh my God, I will not have any more my own company, because now I have my son, and I did not open it, I did not build it, my company, before having my son. And actually this idea, my son has now slightly more than 1 year and a half, and I was thinking, Jesus, I lost that dream. And I know that Simona, we know each other since many years, and when we spoke also recently, I said, no, but it is possible, come on, you know. So if you want to give a message for really to inspire women to dare, you know, if they want to have a business, even if they have kids, it is possible. What message would you give it? I don't know if I like 3 tips and tricks. Let's start on with you. What are the 3 tips and tricks you will give to women?
First of all, you have to have a good idea, a good business idea, and it's not only good for you, but that there is a market, that there are people who is going to buy into your business idea, whether that is investors or whether that is customers or clients. You have to be very passionate, but at the same time, as an entrepreneur, you need to be resilient, and because there's so many factors that is influencing whether your business is going to take off or not. It's not working out, or it takes longer time than what expected. Don't see that as a personal failure, because there's so many factors that are outside of our control. So build resilience by looking after yourself physically and mentally. Don't be too hard on yourself, and don't be afraid to seek help, you know. Good idea, be resilient. A third one, pace yourself. Running a business or starting a business is not a sprint, it's a long marathon. So it's really about the preparation, the training for it. It's about when you are launching it, having the right people, having the right resources, and be open-minded, be open to feedback, but also know what for yourself, what feedback you're going to take on and what you are going to discard.
Thank you. It's one of your points. I love all of them, and actually it's one of the points very similar with the book that I'm just reading for a very famous entrepreneur woman. in US, and it's the point when you say also to not be so hard with yourself, and also it's maybe not be very perfectionist. Just do it, and don't see the failure actually rather as a success, because you learn from each failure. And I'm really with you, and I remember so many feedbacks that I was receiving in being too perfectionist and actually being too tough with myself, that sometimes it's blocking us to advance.
And I think this video session is an example of it. It's not that we have rehearsed it to practice and so on. It's really about being open to do new things.
Yeah.
It's not that me, Simona, really enjoy being in front of the video, but it's really about being out there, stepping out of your own comfort zone, trying something new.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much. And for sure, I took so many notes that our other two topics, I think we'll have another separate video sessions. Simona, tell us the 3 tips and tricks what you will give to women, to mothers that they want to be entrepreneurs.
Okay, the first one I think would be really think inside what's important for you. Because if you will not have the passion, it will be difficult to overcome all the obstacles. So really find something that motivates you, and it will give you the passion in order to go on. Okay. So it's really necessary to have the passion. If not, it's complicated. Believe in yourself. So we are not doing that too often. We have the habit to believe in the others, but not in ourselves. So it's important to believe in ourselves. And third point would be to get support. To get somebody who believes in you, who even if you are doing wrong things, he or she would be able to say, well, it's not like that we are doing. I think you should think like that, or try something else. Or somebody who is there for you in order to support you.
I like this last point also in getting support and the networking being very, very important. What type of advice would you give to one woman how they can get support? So our mentoring programs, what would you give them some advice?
So,
no, please.
maybe actually we can ask how you met each other.
Yes. So we are both of us part of the program which is called Thrive with Mentoring, which is meant for women. So generally men are supporting each other, but to women it's not always the case. So I was at a point where I was saying, well, it's not so easy with my company. I really need somebody who asks the good questions, or somebody who I can talk with in order to see what's wrong, or what's okay, what should be modified. And that's why I joined the Thrive with Mentoring. And I had the opportunity to meet Anne, which is my mentor. We're at the beginning, but I'm really happy about the choice.
Okay.
Fantastic. I'm also very happy about having the opportunity to mentor someone as brilliant as Simona. I have been mentoring for many years. It's something that is a passion for me, to see other people develop and to grow. And when I left Novartis, I was thinking, how can I continue to support people's growth, but not having any, without having any reports. And then the Thrive with Mentoring was an opportunity that came up. I signed up as a mentor, and now this is the 5th time that I am a mentor for Thrive.
Thank you.
try with mentoring.
So thanks to you, ladies, we are discovering this mentoring program. I have also to say that from my experience, and if I can give from my side one big tips and tricks for the women willing to go through an entrepreneurship path, it's really the networking. And for me, the networking, I know that since more than 10 years also, I had several mentors, male, females. I admit that I had more men than females. It's actually for the first time when I have actually a female mentor, and she's really great. But up to now, I really had men, and all my mentors, really, I learned a lot from each of them. And I will say that I was lucky having brilliant mentors, and I was very happy with this experience. And the day, also in my case, when I will decide to do the big step, it will be also thanks to them, because also, giving ideas on the type, when you mentioned the business idea, of course, that always it's good, to brainstorm with people more experienced than you, or also learning more, having more confidence in yourself, because if you are not confident in yourself, then it's very difficult to sell your service or your product. So definitively, I will encourage everyone to go through mentoring, choose your path. Either you go through a specific program dedicated for women, or you just increase your network and find, no matter where, a good mentor that will fit your profile and will fit your needs. So thank you so much, Anne and Simona, for this video interview, and we really hope that we give a strong message and also encouraging women taking a big step. Thank you very much.
Thank you.